Hey everyone, welcome to the 12th pregnancy diary entry in the 17th week of my pregnancy. It's mind-blowing that I'm almost halfway through the journey and just weeks away from learning the sex of our baby. It's all very exciting, and we're about to dive in, but first, let's knock out those disclaimers and ads. Never forget that the information I share on here is purely my own experience and experimentation. None of it is meant to be taken as medical advice, and you should talk to your doctor or care team when making decisions for you. If you love these videos and want more content on wellness, pregnancy, and even fine art, then follow me on Instagram at Lauren P. Clamp. Also, check out my Substack Schwet if you prefer to read about these topics in longer form deep dives. I will link both of those in the description as always. Now, on to the show. This week, I am super excited to take you along on a what I eat in a day at 17 weeks pregnant. I will preface this by saying that I pretty much ate the same way before I was pregnant, and I plan to keep a similar routine postpartum, but I still think it's helpful because there's so much information swirling around out there about what pregnant women should or shouldn't eat. As I'm sharing what a typical day of eating looks like for me, remember that I'm not telling you what to eat or not to eat. I'm just giving you a window into what I have chosen, and you can take or leave any of it at your own discretion and at the advice of your medical team. You may recall several videos back, I shared that my OBGYN told me I could keep exercising as long as I ate enough calories to support myself and the baby. She told me to add 300 calories to what I ate before pregnancy. I am tracking my food with the LifeSum app, so I have some idea of my calorie count, but I'm not tracking for calories. I am really tracking for protein intake, but yes, sometimes it's helpful to see if I am indeed eating enough food. So if you feel comfortable with food tracking, I say try it. I haven't tracked my food in years because I have a history with an eating disorder, and it would have been triggering to me / detrimental to my healing in the past. So the fact that I can track it now for actual health and nutrition rather than dieting and restriction is major for me. I am proud of all the work I've done to get to this place, but if you're not in the same place as me, don't stress the tracking. I get most of my intel on how much to eat from my body anyway. If I'm starving, I eat more until I'm not. Baby seems to always let me know when it's time to eat, and I listen. I'd also add that I'm probably eating more than 300 extra calories just because I am so active in my workouts, and it's been fine for me. At my last doctor's appointment, they told me my weight was good, so I'm not worried that I'm overdoing it or underdoing it. Okay, now that I've rambled on enough, let's move on to the food. The day I'm showing you is a typical work day during the week. I eat a little differently on the weekends, but this is my core diet, so to speak. I will link anything that's linkable, and if you want the full recipe to anything you see, just drop a comment and I'll get it to you. First up is breakfast. Since I work away from home most of the week, I meal prep our breakfasts. This is what I eat after I take all my supplements: an egg bite, which I make ahead, a protein shake, a muffin or other piece of bread, a juice shot, a raw milk shot, and a banana. Plus a cup of coffee, of course. Everything you see here is organic, as is everything I ever make at home. Let's start with the shots. One is orange juice with elderberry. It's by Uncle Matt's, and we like it for the immune boost. The other is raw milk we get from a local farm store. Don't even at me about raw milk during pregnancy. I've done enough research to believe it's beneficial, but you do you when it comes to this. Moving on to the egg bite. My husband often helps me make these and does a better job at it than I do, so shout out to him. It's just egg, cottage cheese, greens, herbs, salt, and pepper mixed up and poured into a muffin tin. I line the tin with a slice of nitrite-free organic ham for extra protein. You can season this however you like, and it's really delicious. Now, the protein shake. Right now, it's any flavor of Truvani's protein powder. This one is the new chocolate strawberry, and it's great. Truvani is the Food Babes company, and it's all super clean. It's also vegan if that matters to you. It doesn't matter to me, and I'm excited to try her whey protein when it comes out. I like to eat my protein first to keep my blood sugar stable, but I'm always excited to get to my bread. This week, it's a wild blueberry and chocolate chip muffin. I mill my own flour now, thanks to the Bread Beckers. I'll link their channel in the description so you can learn why you need to be milling your own flour if you want your bread to truly nourish you. I'll leave it at that for now, but if you know, you know. I put so many chocolate chips in this batch of muffins because I can. So yummy. You also see a random slice of sourdough bread here. This isn't usually in the lineup, but my husband made a fresh loaf last night, so we had to sample it, to make sure it's good. And it was. I finish off with a banana and then I sip my coffee. Kion is my favorite for organic and mold-free, and that's it. This whole meal packs 38 grams of protein. You want each meal to have at least 30 grams, especially when you're pregnant. Mission accomplished. My husband lovingly makes me a matcha latte to take to work in the morning. He makes it with whole milk that isn't raw, because if you heat up raw milk, you pasteurize it, so there's no need to waste it on a hot beverage. I sip on that throughout the morning, but I also bring snacks. I am obsessed with Paleo Valley's meat sticks. They're oddly satisfying for a small and simple snack, and they have a lot of great flavors and varieties. They also pack about 6 to 8 grams of protein per stick. I already talked about them in my snack video in case you haven't seen that, but I like to throw a couple in my purse on my way out the door. I'll usually have one late morning because I don't take my lunch until 1. I wasn't a morning snacker before I got pregnant, but now I am, so I roll with it. When I'm at work, I don't have time to go all the way home for lunch, so I hit my absolute favorite smoothie place in the entire world. It's called Green Brothers Juice, and I have literally been obsessed with it since it opened in 2018. If you don't live in the Charlotte metro area, you're out of luck and can't share in its deliciousness, but if you do, treat yourself immediately. My unchanging ride or die order is a healthy as hail smoothie and a side of s'mores energy bites. They don't publish their macros, so I can't tell you how much protein is in this meal, but it's sustained me for 7+ years, so it must be enough. I could and would eat this literally every day, and I often go get it when I'm not working. I'm not joking when I say I'm obsessed. Now that I'm pregnant, I also add another meat stick to my lunch lineup. I eat it en route to the smoothie place most days. If I were home for the day though, I usually make my own protein smoothie and pair it with a protein bar unless I've got great leftovers in my fridge. I also meal prep our dinners because when I get home, I'm ready to eat, pregnant or not. I order our meats from Butcher Box, and I get a bunch of different things, but one of my favorites for dinner meal prep is chicken thighs. They're fattier than breasts, so they cook up well, whether in the oven or on the grill or in the slow cooker. This week, I bake them on a sheet pan with yellow potatoes, beets, and fennel. I get a CSA box from a local farm every week, so the produce I have on hand all depends on what's in there. This week, it was a lot of greens plus the beets and fennel. I already had a bag of potatoes, so I threw all that together with salt, pepper, and olive oil. I love to cook, but the key to sticking with it is making things as easy as possible. Sheet pan meals are a great example of that. I paired the chicken and vegetables with a fresh salad from the CSA box and some homemade bread. This is a honey wheat loaf I made from freshly milled hard red wheat. It is shockingly delicious. I usually have a bite of chocolate or something sweet after dinner. Then we do a neighborhood walk and enjoy an apple when we get back. And that's about it. That's what I eat in a day at 17 weeks pregnant. A few notes and hot takes before we go. Obviously, a lot of my diet relies on meal prep, and pregnant women are often cautioned against eating leftovers because of the potential for bacteria. I personally don't abide by this, but I do make sure to reheat everything really well. They also warn you against deli meats because of listeria, but I eat deli meat anyway. My doctor said I could if I heat it up first, but I typically don't. Call me crazy, but my intuition says it's fine. I just don't eat anything that has been sitting out or is anywhere near expired, and I think that's important. As for fish, I do eat it. My doctor said to limit it to 3 times a week, and I do listen to that advice. I'm wary of mercury and always suspicious of the quality of fish, especially when dining out. I do like to eat high-quality wild-caught salmon at least once a week. It's a great source of omegas and choline during pregnancy. Ready for my hot take now? Well, you know how I've been waiting for my wild pregnancy craving? It still hasn't come, and I think I figured out why. When you eat a nutritionally balanced diet, well before and during pregnancy, you're less susceptible to cravings. I said what I said. If you have any questions or comments for me, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you, especially about food. Talk to you next time.